Well, good evening as the lovely Lake Nipissing overlooks North Bay and the sun setting here on a Thursday evening. As the sun sets, this round robin will set tomorrow as the playoff teams will align for the 6 teams that will be playing onto the championship weekend here at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. First time ever in North Bay and the North Bay Memorial Gardens. Good crowd here in attendance for this evening's matchups. And it's a big game. Teams trying to position themselves for the playoffs. An all-Asian matchup. Korea trying to get themselves into a playoff spot. Japan can't afford another loss. Luke Coley here, Rona Howie, and it's going to be a fun house and a fun game here with Korea taking on Japan.
Sure is. At this stage, it's all about ranking and positionings, and every game is so critical now. Teams are starting to see where they need to be. So it's getting a bit tense out on the ice.
Well, we'll talk about those standings here as well as the teams being led out onto the ice with their country's flag. And let's meet the teams here in our featured game. The alternate for Korea, Kim Cho-hee, comes in to play lead. Their second, Kim Sun-young. Their third, Kim Ka-young-ae. And the Olympic silver medalist, skipped by Kim Young-jung. They will take on their Asian counterparts. Out of Japan, their lead, Arisa Kotani. Second, Mayo Ishigaki. Third, Yuna Kotani. And their skip, Tori Kawana. Japanese champions here, representing for the first time. And let's look at the standings. Canada and Sweden have qualified for the playoffs, both with 9 wins. Korea and Russia right behind at 6-3 and 5-4. The U.S. controls their destiny. Czech Republic sits 5-5, while Japan right behind at 4-5. China and Switzerland with 4-6 records, then 3-7. Denmark and Scotland. Germany 2-7. Italy rounds out the records and the standings 2-8. Here's the games going on in session 17. Germany taking on the USA on sheet A. Sheet B, Russia takes on Sweden. Sheet C, it's Korea, Japan. Our feature game. And on sheet D, Canada trying to stay unbeaten, takes on Italy. And the teams ready to go here for this one. 2 teams that know each other quite well. 2 nations that played in a semifinal at the Olympic Games. It was a different Japanese squad, the same Korean side. Korea looking good, a win, they can get themselves into a playoff position. We know Canada and Sweden have gotten into those top 2 seeds. And Korea trying to bounce back from a difficult loss this afternoon. Never easy to lose, but the way that Korea lost, it can be tough to come back from.
Yeah, that was hard lines for Korea. They had an open draw to win against Switzerland, and she had a hog line violation on her last stone, so lost the game. So never a nice way to lose.
Well, they've done their last stone draw challenge. They know the colors. Korea will have the red ones, Japan with yellow stones. It's the Ford World Women's Curling Championship, first time ever in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. We're a few hours north of Toronto, the capital city of the province of Ontario. Different atmosphere for this Japanese team to play in front of crowds like this. Of course, Korea got to experience the hometown feel at the Olympics. Japan soaking in every moment of these games, this World Championship. You see there's the stone colors, Korea with the red, Japan with the yellow. Japan has the hammer in this first end of play, winning that last stone draw challenge.
Yep, dealing with this kind of atmosphere is not something you can coach, it's something you have to experience.
Well, and getting into the action for the second time, Kim Cho-hee, 21-year-old, comes in, played 90% in her other game earlier this week. Arisa Kotani, of course, this Japanese team has mixed up their lineup throughout. Constant has been Arisa Kotani at the lead position, 82% on the event for the 17-year-old, the youngest player in the tournament.
Yeah, she's had a great tournament. Not phased at all by it at that young age.
Well, she's also the vice skip as well, so added responsibility to the Japanese lead. Well placed first stone of this game.
Yeah, this young Japanese team have certainly this week, as you said, look, they've been changing about positions, and it's all about learning. It's all about what they can take from every game they play. And every game they have played, they've become stronger and stronger, and they're changing tactical moves. So it's been a great experience for them.
Well, the freeze made by Korea. They're trying to freeze that, just a little bit too much ice. Weight was perfect. Well, Kim Sun-young, 24-year-old second, 84%.
Just trying to tap it back, but it didn't curl as much either.
Well, we've seen a couple in that spot, not quite get there. The first two went in quite nicely behind that corner guard. Up in their weight on both of them, maybe just a little bit. Mayo Ishigaki, who has been in and out of the lineup. Been sort of back and forth between her and Yuna Kotani at the second position throughout. Both of them in the game today. Doesn't get by, chips a red Korean stone into the house. Getting caught a little bit early on.
Japan have got last stone here, so they want to make sure the front's kept open for them. But right now, Korea are controlling the top of that 4 foot. Oh!
Right through was...
Didn't think that was possible to go through that gap.
I have to look at that again to see how much room. There's not a lot to go between.
It was very unlucky.
Japan dodges a little bit of that bullet.
She could have slightly left or right here, and oh, right through the gap.
Right through the middle, and North American football, that's a field goal, 3 points.
So a bit of a let-off for Japan there.
Well, Ishigaki trying to hit off that side one now. Well, a little roll trying to take away play on that red one if they could. Six ends minimum in the rules of play. Must be played before you can concede. 38 minutes of thinking time. 1 60-second timeout given to start the game for each of these teams in the thinking times as they discuss the shots, not while the stone is being played. So Kim Hayoung-ae, 24 years of age, very young Korean team. They'll just get better over the years. This time makes contact and gets one moving to the back of the 12-foot.
Yep, good result for Korea. Lie 2. No gap this time. Gets it perfectly.
Well, Yuna Katani, 19 years of age, older sister of the lead, Arisa Katani.
So Korea still lie 2. But they know this is a danger stone that Japan can tap up. So we're just going to remove that.
Those two in a position they can use, even though, especially without the last stone in this first end. Ends up rolling away, so a chance here, Japan try and go to the offensive.
Even if they don't get the straight tap up, a split here. Oh, no, she's going for the hit and roll, sorry. I thought she was going for the tap up to open up the centre.
I was no help. My Japanese is not that good. They just peel that one out. Trying to sweep it to curl it up at the end to get enough of it to remove that stone.
Japan are lying second and third. So Korea just working out, should they hit that open back one? And a few half shots at this first end. Chances for both sides to capitalise.
Well, and hitting this back one, this showing the growth of this team may not have been the call. Thinking it could have went, okay, let's wrap another one around, let's lie 2. First end, you got a couple of counters lingering. Don't necessarily want to leave them around. So Young Jung, she goes by Annie.
Having to work this hard to keep it in play. And does that.
Great sweep there. Both these teams use their sweepers almost as much as I'd say any team in the field.
She leaves her brush at that end. She likes to slide with the hog hair brush.
Of course, those not allowed anymore to sweep or even be in the house with. A few different players have some different sliding brooms or devices. Mori, 22 years of age.
Sweepers on this very early.
Well, I don't know if this is going to have enough to get there. Gonna be lucky to get this one as a halfway guard.
She was quite a bit wider with her ice there. A bit slower out there in the first end. So a big opportunity now for Korea to come round here and pile the pressure on in the first end.
Well, chance to lie 3. This, of course, a difficult last shot. Kim Young-jung can hook it around, really close in that scoring zone.
So her sweepers will have seen the split that Japan just played, knowing it is a wee bit slower out here. See the time clock. They've got plenty of room. Has she got the weight? So 14-6 would normally get it to T.
Want to try and out-count that top yellow at least. And they will, so they'll lie 1-2 and the third in the back of the 12-foot.
So Japan don't need to have to tap the yellow too far, and they've got room for error. They can tap it right through the 4-foot. So you can see the reverse handle action and her out turn. This is really curling though.
They got caught on the other side, it didn't curl. This one is going to over curl and tap that red up, and it's gonna be a steal of 3 to start things off. 2 big mistakes by the Japanese skip, and it cost them big time. They're now down 3-0 after just one end of play. Shocking start to this one. Well, thanks for watching our live coverage of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. 2018. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie here this evening. And Korea off to a good bounce back after losing on a hog line violation earlier today. They steal 3 on 2 mistakes by the Japanese rink.
Yeah, bit of a scrappy first 10 mistakes from both sides, but Korea certainly capitalised there on Japan's errors.
First stone goes in, Arisa Kotani. First end, sometimes you don't know what the ice is going to do, but they saw the other way, the other turn from what Koana's last rock was, undercurled, thinking the other side might curl more.
And she played a great weight to tap up with her last stone. It just took the wrong ice.
So as they finish up their first end, we'll take a look in Canada, Italy. Well, Canada's left, looks like line 1. Come around, came overcurled just a little bit. Jennifer Jones and her Canadian side, unbeaten at 9-0, looking to get their 10th win. They know they're one of the 2 teams that them and Sweden right to the semifinals already. Trying to keep their win streak and the Canadian win streak at the World Championship going. Of course, going unbeaten last year, and this one no problem. Right down, score a deuce, and an early 2-0 lead over Italy. Well, they've definitely given the crowd lots to cheer about here in North Bay, and the crowds have been just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Gives a great atmosphere, and they're very supportive of all nations, not just Canada. And that's what every curler wants, to play a World Championships in Canada with a big Canadian crowd. You can't get better than that.
Well, Japan will try and bounce back. Just have to regroup, focus on this end. Let's work hard to get our deuce.
So the guard's quite long. Korea feeling they can come round and just tap this back. And she's played it perfectly.
Yeah, the longer guard allows, gets around, makes the hit run, roll up in the open. Kim Sun-young.
And with the good swing on the ice, they're really needing to bring the corner guards just up to these forward signs to make them usable. Otherwise, they're really a bit too long.
Trying to roll in front and rolls over, sits third shot.
In a good position there, difficult for Korea to move. They could just peel off the corner guard.
So they, just from the broom indication, not from my Korean. See if they can try and pick this one through with the out turn. If it ends up hanging out, they can peel the guard.
Yeah, I thought about both options. She's played it well.
Yeah, right through the hole. I thought it would be tough because of the angle they had on that stone. It's still Korea lying two.
It's always difficult when you score a big end at the first end because you've got 9 ends still to play, so to defend that lead it's quite difficult.
Is it the case you almost want to just keep your same strategy even though you do get that 3? Sometimes you want to change your strategies?
Absolutely. You've got to just play the game and play what you would normally play. Because 9 ends is a long game still to go.
Well, no roll on that one for Japan. I thought be able to hold that one, get the little flip to the outside in front. Nice thing for Japan is it's pretty open in the center line this end.
The last thing Japan really want here is to be forced to take their 1. If they're not going to get their 2, they would rather blank and go into the next end to try and get their 2. But Korea have played the end well so far to lie the 2. Just needs one good hit and roll here from Japan.
Well, Yuna Kotani played her first game with the 3rd position. Has been playing 2nd throughout with them throughout this event. Kaho Onodera played every game up until this point. Came in as their alternate. It's actually on the team that Kawana's team beat in the Japanese final. Hit, little roll to the wing. Just sticks around edge of the 12-foot. See the coach of the Korean side, Kim Min-jung.
She's looking a bit worried there.
Well, chasing after this one, the other thing they could draw in, they lie shot. They could ignore this one altogether.
Yep, they could just draw the other side level and lie 2.
By the guard, would love to roll in, they don't.
So now kind of double guard at that side. If Japan could hit and roll in behind, or they're just going to draw in behind now. And still set up their 2 here.
Yuji Nishimuro, coach of this Japanese team. JD Lin to the left of your picture. It's the national team coach. So they leave it top of the 12. Almost nice that it doesn't go beyond that redstone.
So now Korea choose to ignore it and just bring their second counter in level with their other one.
웨이트로 6 보고 거의 7까지 나쁘진 않긴 한데 거의 6 봐야 돼. 여기는 좀 갈 것 같긴 한데. 웨이트가?
The only danger here for Korea is if they do leave a double. So important to get these stones as level as they can be.
또 가야지. 소리 가야지. 소리 가야 돼. 나이스 화이팅! 무조건 이겨야 돼. 무조건 이겨야 돼.
Kim Cho-hee, Kim Sun-young need to get this one into the house. Try and take this as far as possible. Need to get second shot.
Oh, very well swept.
And they will. We'll jump over Germany, United States of America, over on sheet A. Daniela Jentsch. Draw here. Looks like for 2, I believe. Nothing else as it comes into your picture in the rings, just guiding this one in. Good start for Germany to try and play spoiler, coming in at 2 and 7. USA controls their destiny. They're at 5 and 4, sitting in that 5th spot. They're a half game up on the Czech Republic, who hold that last playoff spot. Japan's just beyond them at 4 and 5. Of course, top 6 will make the playoffs here. Tori Koana, first of her skip stones. Wants to catch any of that one. And will hit, roll out. So 3 shots, 3 misses for Tori Koana so far in this game.
조금 말려서 더 죽는 것 같기도 하고. 제대로 놓으면 에이트는 기다려서 가야 될 것 같아.
So Korea just want to do the same. Draw a second counter in level. Force Japan to take their one.
아니야. 기다려드릴 것 같아, 이거는. 안 돼. 절대 안 돼.
Got lots of room on this one, but was short on the first one. They had to sweep to take it in. Well, that one settles down back 8 foot. Don't think there's any double on those. I know it's tempting to look at because you want to try and score 2, but giving up a steal here would be catastrophe.
Yeah, Japan have to score here.
야, 좀厳しいか。これ7ぐらい必要だもんね、ダブルするのね。1個。乗る。こっちでしょ。こっち曲がっ。曲がったね。
She's tempted.
それで11でいいんじゃないかな。あ、でもちょっと重いかな。使ってないライン。けど結構テイクは投げて。
Playing the intern at it. Looks like ice for a quieter hit weight. Doesn't look like what she'd be playing to try and play the double.
Yeah, she can't afford to hit this one on the nose. She does need to roll in to get the shot.
Final stone here of this second end. Well, make the hit, roll it in a little bit. Very nice, right to the button for Tori Koana. That's a good confidence builder for the Japanese skip. They're on the board with a single point. And a 3-1 game after 2. Well, a good evening to everyone around the world tuning in, watching Japan taking on Korea, our feature game, Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Bukoli joined with Rona Howie here this evening. And got off a rough start for Japan. 2 misses by their skip, but made the hit and stick, scored their one. Sometimes you just need to get on the board and it changes up the flow of the game.
Yeah, the score of 1 means they can get up the centre guards and get some cover up. Try and get some pressure onto Korea. We've seen a couple of teams this week when the centre guard goes up that they'll draw to the wing. Korea electing to come around.
기다려. 라인 아직 기다려야 돼. 아니야. 오버컬이야. 그냥 놔둬.
Well, the important thing, you want to be in the top part of the house. Kim Cho-hee playing in her 2nd game here so far. And seeing a lot of teams actually use multiple players to get their alternate in because it is a long grind. 13-team field, 12-game round robin.
Yeah, it is much longer round robin now, and before you used to think, well, if you swap players in and out, are players losing their consistency with draw weight? Are they better to keep playing? But now with 12 round robin games, that is a long haul.
So 2 guards for Japan, and we'll look over, see a few guards out in play between Russia and Sweden. Both teams look like they're headed to the playoffs. We know Sweden is in one of the top 2 spots. They come in 9-1 record, looking for their 10th win. Olympic champ has his draw to the button. Pick up a single point. Well, has this one, can come down, use the backing, and will do just that. So Sweden gets their 1. They lead that one 1-0. Of course, Russia right there with Korea at 6-3. Canada, Italy keeping you up to date there. Italy trying to play spoiler, finish off on a strong note, and right now an opportunity at 3. Some great shots in the middle of this one by the Italian side. Now Diana Gaspari looking to cap it off with the intern tap back to score 3. Well, no problem. See those 2 there, the one in the back of the 12-foot come into play. It's a 3 for Italy and a 3-2 lead. Well, the problem for Korea now is their 2 come-arounds, they went deep in the ring, so they're deep in the house.
Yep, advantage Japan here. They've got their centre guard up and they're controlling that top of the button.
Tight to the other one. Still Japan lying 1 side of the 4-foot.
Been better if Japan had left a wee bit more separation there between the guards. Korea have got the chance to remove them both now.
The angle were tough. There was a chance to get rid of both of them. Well, I think Kim Young-jung might have knocked that Yellowstone as they were sweeping it. Watch, or did they burn it before it actually made contact?
It looked as though it was probably going to go out anyway.
I didn't see it. Is it go farther?
It might have hit the board, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was good as well.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's probably, it wasn't going to be in play anyway. I think it's a good choice, just take it out. See some teams, because I didn't even really see what it was doing, so they were looking at the other angles of what was left in the house. Ronnie, you'll know that from your days, as we can watch and look and see them make contact. Oh, right there with her left foot as she was trying to dance over it. That one went to the back, all on its own without even touching anything. So
Yeah, good sportsmanship. Both teams knew that the guards were both going to go.
Well, Rona, you know, as a skip, you get locked in, sometimes you're already thinking your next shot. And as that one's coming down, you're not even looking to see if it's making contact with another player.
I know you're always so focused on where your shooter's ending up, you know, what you're leaving your opposition, so you're so focused on your shooter that other stones moving about really are irrelevant.
She almost looks surprised when, oh, you made contact with that. I don't know what I was going to do. It's hard to see. It took a couple of different looks for us to visually see where she made contact with it.
And if you are sweeping so hard on a stone, you're not really aware of your footwork when it does touch a stone. You just know it's touched, but you don't actually know what you've prevented the stone from doing.
Well, another one in behind that one. Kim Ka-young on this one back. Love to pick off both, but make sure you get one.
Yeah, they really want to lift one of these yellows.
Well, and a little unfortunate. Hit it at wrong angle, they leave two in, but it opens up the forefoot and leaves a guard.
Yep, that center guard's still there for Japan to use. The shot is more open at the back of the house now, though, so it's important for Japan to come right into the forefoot here. Trying to pull it in as far as they can.
It's right in, top of the forefoot. Looks like it's just 1-2. We'll look in. Germany and the United States over on sheet A. Germany leading 2-0. Looks like lying 3. Jamie Sinclair now has to draw against 3. Jamie Sinclair controls her own destiny. She's sitting in a good spot at 5-4. She finishes out here against Germany and then the Czech Republic and Canada. Win out. They know they're in the quarterfinals. That's the best that they can do now.
Yep, always good to be in control of your own destiny.
All right in. Not an easy finish for Team USA, but they get the Czech Republic, who's at 4 losses as well. You win that, you can control how things go there. You have Canada. Not saying it's going to be, Canada might be a little more relaxed because they've already clinched in one of those top 2 spots. haven't quite clinched that top seed yet.
曲がったら後ろにして
Sweden and Canada on the same number of wins right now. Just that one loss for Sweden coming to Canada.
10秒でステイでダブルになるとワンツースリーになる、1ロールも一応あるから、もし曲がっちゃったら1ロールで
Well, the hit from Korea actually clipped that back one of theirs. So they lose that one back 8 foot. An opportunity here. Tori Koana. Pardon me, didn't clip that back one. It was just underneath of Arisa Kotani. With that overhead look.
If she lifted a double here, they could lie 3.
Well, they clipped that one out to lie 3, just as you said, Rona.
Just clips it and no more.
It's a good spot to leave your shooter, to be honest.
It is, because it's completely blocked that draw on the intern side. So, is there a good hit and roll on for Korea? They have got the red that they could tap up. She just clips the back one enough here.
And leaving it in the rings makes a hit more difficult.
Oh, she says that was close.
She's fun to watch play. Her the enthusiasm out there and the excitement to be on the ice. I know her listed one of her sports heroes is Russ Howard, and he's a couple booths over from us. And I know Russ has been down a couple times to talk to her before the games, and you can see just the smile, ear to ear on her face. Just exciting to meet and talk to Russ, and Russ taking the time to go talk to her as well, which is
so nice that Japanese, how they all smile and look as though they're having fun. We saw Fujisawa's team at the Olympic Games, you know, always smiling, always laughing, and they look as though they're really enjoying themselves.
And they're having fun. It's always easier to have fun when you're winning and you make shots like a hit and roll right in like that to lie 1, Kim Young-jung.
Great shot there. However, Japan still could raise their own onto that.
That's why that spot was so nice by Koana to sit in the top.
Yeah, as we said earlier, it's where you leave your shooter, thinking a few shots ahead in case I need to use that.
Well, they wanted to try and make the roll over, get right in behind, and there's a look from the other end. Good vantage point of what's available. You can see part of it, but there's no hole big enough to get through. Are they just playing the straight tap on it?
I don't know, because she's taking a wee bit more ice, so is it just a tap back to even tap it for second shot?
Just close in the rings and leave your shooter so there's no draw path?
Yeah.
Well, Tori Koana's final shot here. This definitely looks like the wait for a tap.
That's going to start pulling big though. Can they hold it?
Or are they going right through the hole? Well, they're going to get right through the hole.
Ooh, they are.
But right through the hole completely and right back.
Wow.
Not easy to do. I think it might have changed the plan as they were partway down that they weren't going to make the tap. Weight would have been perfect for a tap back. Well, it's been
I
a
can't quite believe that went through the whole way. Didn't touch anything.
Watch this. Try the top one. Curl past that yellow. And it actually curls past that red.
If it just nicked the red there, it was really...
They almost could have stayed on the sweeping to hold it to get that little rub.
So I think Korea want to keep away from that yellow on that left-hand side and just use their own red to tap up. Or they could come round the outside onto that back yellow.
이쪽을 거의 안 써서. 근데 인터는 좀 좁아서 어려울 것 같아. 차라리 이거 약간 넉넉히 가서 흰색 다 넣으면 되니까.
Korea definitely a very aggressive team. They don't have a problem with stones in there. They haven't been as efficient with the hammer as other teams, just at 33%.
이쪽은 별로 안 나가.
Lots of steals for, but they've also given up 11 steals. Right now they lie one and a chance for one of those multiple scores.
웨이트만 봐, 라인 괜찮아. 웨이트 가야 돼. 웨이트만. 웨이트만 가, 조이게도 가야 돼.
Sweeping to hold this line as well. This is curling.
Got to hold it for the tap. Tap this one in, get a piece of the forefoot, get a good chunk of the 8. It's going to be close. Just one. So missed opportunity for the extra point. Just overcurled, didn't have the weight. And Japan, a little bit of a break for them. It's now 4-1. Korea leading as we're through 3. Well, there's the singles traded in 2 and 3, but the steal of 3 in the first. That was a 4-1 game. Here's the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. We are in session 17 of 20. 3 full slates of games tomorrow. Well, and here's that first stone slides into the rings. Japan with the hammer. Just halfway in, thought they might play the hit at that point. Look at tournament numbers here in this fourth end. 83% for Arisa Kokani. Just in case sometimes you get in your mind just, well, first stone's there. We're going to put it in the corner, up the corner guard. We want to try and get our play there.
Japan want to try and keep it as open as possible to get their 2 at this end.
Kim Cho-hee, 89%. A little heavy. They think maybe they were thinking of a little chip. As it slides back, 8 foot. Kim Young-mi, the regular lead of this team, given the night off. They do have the morning off as well, so it gives a night and morning off for Kim Young-mi as we'll look over Russia and Sweden. Sweden leading 1-0. Last of the third. Victoria Moiseva. Their hopes alive of trying to get in those top 2 seeds if they win this one against Sweden. Need to hit the stick and a single point. Or pardon me, a third point on that one for Russia to go ahead of Sweden after they got single in the second. 3-1. Russia leading. We'll slide right next door to us on sheet D, Canada and Italy. Canada gives up the 3 in the second end. So Jennifer Jones now made a tap with her first to get in for shot. Now trying to make another one. Well, trying to tap that one out and it over curls. It's a tough spot because you're crossing center. It is just one and all square there. Canada, Italy, 3-3. Back to our game, the appeal of the guard. Still a couple stones in the rings, belonging to Korea.
이렇게 갈래 아예? 네. 아니면 어떻게? 어디가 할까? 일자로 있는가? 이쪽으로 가죠. 일자로 돼 있어요? 어? 똑같이 돼 있어? 아니 이게 조금 더 밑에 있어. 아, 네. 근데 이거 먼저 막고 있는 가는 게 나아. 뒤에 좀 봐야 될 것 같아요. 뒤에 좀 봐야 돼. 이렇게 오면 돼. 이렇게.
Kim Sun-young, 84%.
Just trying to remove both these yellows. Get the front open.
Doesn't quite get that one all the way out, just leaves it back. Now corner guard in play. Second shot belongs to Japan.
Yeah, if Japan could get another one round these corners, 12 foot, 8 foot, buried. But difficult for Korea to remove them.
Mayo Ishigaki, 79%. Important draw, trying to generate at least a deuce.
They want to keep this top tee if they can. Coming back.
Don't want to tap their own back. Well, they might have just left themselves lying second and third. There's a bit of a wall back there now.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. If they could have come in top tee there. Really tried to generate a couple when the last stone here. But now advantage to Korea. They can draw in and lie too.
Kim Ka-young-ae, 81%. This Korean side finished top of the standings after round robin, the Olympic Winter Games. They went 8-1. Their lone loss was to Japan and Satsuki Fujisawa in the round robin. They've got revenge in the semifinal against them, beat them but lost the final to Sweden's Anna Hasselborg.
ちょっと下がってもいいよ。これ14だった。14ね。
That one goes back 8 foot. So it is Korea lying 1-2.
It is back though, so Yuna Kodani can come in and freeze on top here.
And this is the lineup that was the roster that was listed coming into the event. They've mixed it up a few times. This is the lineup that won the right to come to this World Championship.
She's played a lovely stone there.
Right down to the face, second shot. Good angle.
Korea need to be careful here. Japan are building up. A nice pile of stones in behind. Yeah, and it's great this young Japanese team are here, you know, really performing fairly well for their first Worlds, and then Fujisawa medalist at the Olympic Games, so there's two really strong ladies teams from Japan.
Little tap on a good angle. Only question now, can you see any to throw any weight at it? Catch that one back 4 foot. Could get all three of the Reds going.
You can probably see enough just to do that.
じゃあ無理だな。そんなに見えてない？こんなもんよ。どこに当たればいい？あ、それぐらいだったら。
If she hits it dead right, all 4 Reds could actually go.
Yeah, that catch that back one.
Yep.
Beat a live 4 if you make this one perfectly. Depends if that touches that back, that biter of the yellow, if it sticks around or not.
She's taking a bit more ice. I don't think she can see as much from the hack as they had hoped.
It's a little disappointing. I was wanting to see if the angles lined up that way. Get selfish here sometimes, wanting to see if they do line up that.
You need to pass the top guard here, though.
Oh, big scrum, got to get by. And they won't. They catch a good chunk of that. Slide off to the side. One unfortunate where it went. So now they can't play that same shot even if Korea doesn't throw right now, because it just jams onto that yellow.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate.
너무 얇으면 저거 빨간색이 약간 위에 있거든. 그래서 안 돼서 그냥 일단 노란색 막고 가야 돼. 너무 작나? 걷는데. 아, 경혜.
Well, Kim Young-jung, 81%.
They don't want to leave a nest here for Japan to sit on.
They'll end up nosing their own. Now that it's a rock higher.
Confused about that one. Korea are lucky that that yellow's still there.
Yeah.
So can Japan generate a 2 out of this now?
る？うん、バックライン。バックライン。シューターがそのままこっちってこと？うん。黄色の前に残して。オッケー。あんまり開きたくないんだよね。うん。ほぼ芯で残したい。オッケー。バックライン。バックライン。まあちょっと早くても大丈夫。
Okay. You seem very obliging. Okay.
Well, I don't think they liked the angle lined up. Their yellow one back, the forefoot. They're just trying to move that one back and sit 1-2. %73% on the tournament. Tori Kwana.
So they just saw the Korean stone really curl down here. Trying to hold this.
Move far enough, they'll lie 1-2. If they do try and play the double, it might jam onto that back red. Well, decision time for Korea. While they do that, we'll slide over, keep you up to date. Sheet A, Germany and the USA. 2-1, Germany leads. Germany has the hammer. As the intern draw to the forefoot to get another deuce. Germany coming into this one, 2-7 record. Do a lot of teams a favor by beating the US, giving them a 5th loss.
Sweeping it really hard for line.
Annalena Jentsch, Pia-Lisa Scholl get right down to their own. Great sweep.
Oh, swept.
4-1 lead over Team USA. The German team trying to put something together. Well, in our feature game, Korea, Japan, can they make the double without jamming?
They can, but there's also a possibility they can jam too. But it is there to go over the top. She's got to be absolutely millimeter perfect here.
Well, without the hammer, facing 2. Kim Young-jung.
This is curling fast.
And rolls over, will sit, shot. Looks like a nose hit for 2. Is there anything else with all those other ones? Can they?
Could they get a 3 if they left both those reds out? If they just punch the right hand one to the side?
Crotch 'em.
Yep. I think she's got to make sure of her 2, but if she could just nudge that red out to the side, it'd be a great 3.
No, it looks like I thought I saw just an indication. Just a hit and roll to the inside. I think a deuce is important, but again, I'll be selfish up here. I want to see what happens with all those angles. I think there is a way you could hit it and then get a lot of them moving and have a lot of good angles for Japan.
You could, because their own yellow is always going to jam on the back red. The likelihood is they will be able to get that second red on the right there out enough. But safety first, get your 2.
It's always good to think safety first. Tori Kwana needs to, nose hit will do it, a little roll, to secure it. Now very nice, makes the hit. Will sit there, they'll just confirm it, but it is a deuce for Japan. And just like that, battle back, and it is a 1-point game. Japan trailing by 1, 4-3. We're through 4 ends of our feature game.
Okay, nice, nice, nice.
내가 갖고 나와서 약간 부드럽게 나와서 그래서 더 돌고 그래서 그냥 다가가서 됐을 것 같아요. 그냥 안 올라갔어. 저쪽 거 두 번째 거 웨이트 알겠어 이제? 아니면 더 낮춰야 될 것 같지 않아? 완전 더 낮춰야 될 것 같은데 그냥 다가가.
Well, after a steal of 3 in the first, battle back, trade singles, and a deuce by Japan. Now they really got to work hard, get their force again. Let's try and score another 2, and they would be all square after 6 ends. Centerline guard. It's a long way back. You never want to give up a steal of 3, but first end's probably the best one if you're going to give it up.
That's the best place to do it. You've still got 9 ends to recover. And if you're the team that score the 3, is there that slight step back that, well, we're 3 up, that was a good first end, and take your foot off the pedal a bit? You still need to keep fighting. Korea here really should be going for their 2 to get that jump again. So they're sliding back T with these lead stones, and it's allowing Japan to play the freezing game.
Yeah, they just haven't seemed as sharp. Obviously, they did make a lineup change. No, they won't use that as an excuse. But the last game, Kim Cho-hee came in, played 90%, just having a few sliding deep, getting caught, and the stone placement really can hurt. But Kim Young-jung's had 2 stones of hers in the game, and they was trying to make a hit, actually overcurled, and they take out their own.
Oh, Japan
right
just sliding past.
Gives the gift right back, going deep in the house.
Yeah, this is a really key shot here for Korea. They have to be top T. Korea would like to get a 2 at this end and go 3 up going into the 5th end break. Not bad effort there, just a wee bit short.
We'll look in. Sweden taking on Russia 3-1. Russia got that 3 in the 3rd end, and Sweden trying to come right back to tie this one up with the out-turn tap. Anna Hasselborg and her Swedish team. Lots of discussion throughout in this end, deciding what to play, and here trying to go onto those red. If they caught the right angle, they could have bumped that one out, but they do get their two by raising that yellow up. So they're all square after 4. Look over at Canada, Italy, and an open end. Italy trying to set up their deuce, and Diana Gaspari has the hit and stick to score 1. Take the lead against Canada.
Sweeping this one very hard.
All the way, and look at this one, just diving away from it. They won't even remove that stone. It stays in the house, and it's a steal of 2 for Canada. So Italy gets that 3, but have given 3 points straight back. Now trail 5-3 in that game.
So Korea have just peeled off the long guard. Japan now going to come round, try and freeze the stone in the forefoot. But it's interesting, when Korea have got last stone, they didn't try to put up a corner guard for their 2. They're quite happy to play this game round the forefoot and risk a steal.
Well, maybe that's why some of the numbers, they have 14 steals for, they have 11 against. They play a very aggressive style. Haven't been that efficient with the hammer that we saw them do so successfully at the Olympic Winter Games. Score multiple points, get forces.
Trying to raise their front red.
Can't touch that yellow, and they do.
Well, that's opened it up.
That is the positive in that one. Still shot stone for Japan.
Puts a lot of pressure on the skipper herself, calling that game to try and get your 2s when you're playing all round centre guards and round the forefoot.
Well, here, Peel, the centerline guard, knowing they need to have access to the forefoot. Kim Kyoung-ae.
She could have been peeling the guard there and leaving a corner guard over the red that's in the 8-foot there. But she's just happy to keep it open and try and force Japan to make an error.
Well, trying to get this one to the center line. They got to keep this one moving. Not quite. I think they'll be able to make a play on that shot stone.
Yeah, it's the wrong side of the stone. If she'd even crossed the centre line and showed them the other side. Korea will be able to come in and now they're just sitting top of it, but ideally they want to just tap and spread things about a wee bit.
いいね中野のケアウェイトはピンウェイトはピンウェイトはウェイトはウェイトは左ウェイトは左よあっちかあっちか左
Try and tap yellow and red and split them all. Yeah, that's a good result.
Yeah, and come down to it, they do sit top of the button.
Japan could come in and just freeze right on top of that and say, okay, you have your one. How are you going to get a 2 out of this?
これここに引っかかるそしたらそれでそれと全部残っちゃうなヒットロールで狙ってもいいけどねもういいか
赤の前フリーズ赤の前フリーズなんか後ろのこっちのなんかセンターにずれてる後ろの前にあった後ろの赤に
A few different options, I think, from where the broom was put down. You can freeze, corner freeze the one just thrown. If it hangs out there or a little heavy, then go to the back one. Just don't want to be in between.
Yeah, it'd be good if she could just freeze it. Certainly wide enough.
Well, as that one comes in, we'll also keep an eye on Germany and the US. And Germany just putting the pressure on Jamie Sinclair and Team USA throughout this one. Draw against 2.
Little tighter. Nice. Line's good.
US skip out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Born in Alaska. Grew up in the Ottawa, Ontario, Canada region. Now representing USA in North Bay, Ontario. Quite the journey to get here. She trails, though, 4-2 as they head to their 5th end break.
Good. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, it's good.
야 여기였다고? 야 아까 여기 잡았잖아 진짜요? 아닌가? 나 여기 봤는데 아닌가? 내가 아까
Meanwhile, the freeze sort of hung out there a little bit. I could have maybe swept to get a little rub off the outside one. There is the inside available to get to if you're Korea. And then if you make this freeze, you might even have a chance to throw some weight on your last.
방금 얘들 거의 이 끝에 잡았지 않아? 얘네 거 라인 거의 끝에 잡았지
Yeah, this is really a key shot for Korea, but what they leave here, they don't want to leave anything for Japan to blast.
일단은 근데 노란색으로
Because right now Korea can come down both sides to get their second counter.
라인 좋아.
It would actually be great if they could just nick their own a fraction. And
Just to give them a little in separation between them.
Yeah.
Well, little touch, roll in front. They are 1st and 3rd. Can you wait at that?
거의 여섯 갈
I don't know if it does you
Japan
any
could
good.
get that right in the crotch of that, then that would absolutely cause Korea problems.
斜めだったらになるけど、ここについたら難しいか、ダメだね。3点。まあこれでもいいか。これは悪くないね。
Yeah, it looks like you could throw weight at, but you don't need to. It's better actually if you leave them there.
薄く？割と薄め。
Yep, Japan could just come in and check on that red where her brush is.
フリーズ位置によってこれにするか。
Korea were just maybe a bit over greedy there.
Well, as they decide, we'll also look in. Canada, Italy, Canada now putting the pressure all over Italy. Looks like Canada lying 3. Diana Gaspari's got to try and basically get down to nose on this to cut it to a steal of 1.
出るでワンツースリーぐらいまでは持てると思う。20分
Canada still unbeaten, the only unbeaten team. Got to get past the front first, and they won't. They'll crash on the front. They left that a long time. It ends up being a steal of 3 for Canada, and they'll take an 8-3 lead into the break. Just when it looked like Italy could knock Canada off or give them a good run, they give up 5 stolen points in 2 ends.
So can Japan place this right? Oh, it's looking
Really
a bit
hanging.
wide at the moment.
Trying to get the roll off the top one now.
Korea still lie.
1. I don't think they can bring the other red into play, but they can draw in to score 2. Missed opportunity for Japan. It could have gone right into the pocket.
약간 이거 보고 가드만 봐줘. 방금 웨이트도 괜찮아. 방금보다 방금이다 티. 저기 뒤에 일단은 부딪히게 그냥 가는 걸로. 근데 일단 8 1번 제일 좋아. 핀. 근데 조금 부딪히게 가서 노란색 부딪히고 가는 것보다는 좀 서른 돼서 빨간색에 빨간색에 부딪히는 걸로 봐야 돼.
Lots of talk here.
많이 안 잡았어.
Got to get this one across. I've seen a couple under curl in this spot.
Just seems to have, you've got that ounce of running weight. Just hangs.
라인은 정말 좋아. 아니야 기다려.
This is certainly looking high at the moment. Can come off the inside, but it needs to curl.
So now trying to sweep, get that late movement, try and get to the inside. Just rub, roll in. For their 2 points, so a great draw. They get their deuce. And it is a 6-3 lead. Now for Korea, they extend it back to their 3-point margin as we're through 5 ends.
난 마지막에 아까 체크할 때가 있어서.
Well, first end and chance here. Try and make the tap, score 1, facing 3 correct Korean counters. Tori Kawana. And this one will over curl, unable to hold it. Taps that Korean stone up. And it's a steal of 3 to start things off for the Olympic silver medalists in the third. Looking to extend their lead, trying to play the tap. Lying 1 already. Kim Young-jung is the out turn, trying to just tap this one up on the nose. Not the weight, doesn't have the line, and it's only a single point. Korea misses the extra point in the third. But Japan battling back, had a good end set up, a well-played end, looking to capitalize on the misses of their opponents. And Tori Kawana, the intern hit, has a little room to roll. Little roll in, score 2, and right back into it with that deuce. Look in Russia, Sweden, as they play their fifth end, and Russia giving Sweden a hard-fought game, controlling this one with a big 3 in the third. Victoria Moiseva, chance here, draw into the house, get a second point, so make it a 5-3 lead. Russia, if they win out and Sweden loses their last 2 games, would mean Russia gets into potential for that 1-2 bye into the semifinal. And that one comes down for the forefoot and a deuce for Russia. Well, look at the other scores here. Germany gets another 4, so they have the hammer starting the second half on sheet A. Showed you there, Russia leading Sweden 5-3. Korea's doubling up Japan 6-3 in the 6th, and Canada up 8-3 over Italy. Well, it's a good look at that World Championship trophy. It's the second year that one will be presented to the winners. Of course, coming in last year, first year was won by Canada's Rachel Homan. She went 13-0. Another Canadian team that is unbeaten right now, but it's an extra game in round robin, a different playoff format. I think becoming much more difficult. Not that it was easy before to go unbeaten. That was the first time it's ever happened at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie, the 2018 edition. We see 6-3 Korea leading Japan.
It is hard because you now play 12 games in a round robin, win them all, get straight through to semis, and you lose that semi. You could be playing somebody that's maybe on 5 losses, and you've gone through the round robin, you know, undefeated. So there's no advantage at that. Well, you'll get the hammer. You know, it's a difficult one because it's just that one game when you get to that playoff stage.
Risa Kotani, good numbers for the young lead. Of course, gone is the days of the Page playoff system where the top 2 teams still an advantage. It was a different one. They got 2 lives in the playoffs. It wasn't sudden death for them, and
Yeah,
I like the sudden death factor.
Yeah, I do too, but I always felt now that the round robin you're playing more and more games. If you have won 12 games in a row, you know, you've no advantage.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when you get to this stage, it is like a separate competition. You've got one competition to qualify, and once you qualify, it's like a new event. It is knockout, and you have no second chance.
Well, Kim Cho-hee, 80%. Korea is in a good position to try and get themselves into a playoff. Looking like they would have to play in the quarterfinals. Of course, the top 2 teams buys to the semi. 3 through 6 will play in 2 quarterfinals. So 3 will play 6, 4 versus 5. Like you said, Rona, you could have a team that gets in a 7-5 record, looking like might be a record that gets you that 6th seed. You win that against the 3 seed. Could be a Korean side here, say 8-4, 9-3, and you beat them. You could place Canada, and it could be a 5-game difference, 4-game difference in records.
But that stands for nothing. Your record in the round robin's irrelevant. to a degree. Obviously, the hammer's an advantage. However, it doesn't help you in your win-loss record when it's straight knockout.
Kim Sun-young play the peel of that guard. Obviously, not getting the 2 corner guards, we see the numbers 85%. Was the first guard sliding in for Arisa Kotani into the house, so it allowed Korea to hit it early.
Yeah, I'll just have to keep persevering, putting up a corner and hope for an error from Korea. Would dearly like to get their 2 back here with the hammer.
Mayo Ishigaki, 78% on the game. Right about her tournament average.
ちょっとダウンしてきてる Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 16.8.
Keep moving these guards around. Try and battle back. 6-3, 5 ends remaining. Get 2 force, get 2 force.
Yep, still doable.
Well, that ticks off the guard. Goes into the rings. Kills one of their own. Real thin. Almost got all 3 of them moving.
So deciding to try and hit this top Korean stone and roll over on top of the other one. Just going to roll too far. Does stay in play though. Just pushes that red out no more. Still actually in play, although it's not in the rings.
So hit on that yellow one. Played the 6th end, and Kyung 85, bringing her numbers up. Obviously, a 3-point lead in the 6th end is different than a 6-point or a 3-point lead in the 2nd end. We're going to see more of this style than we saw early in the game.
Yeah, it's much easier to defend a lead for a few ends rather than 9.
Bit of a pocket there. Right now, stones are your friends.
Yeah, all it takes is one good freeze to force an error at Korea, and can set up their 2.
They got to make sure their second shot here. Oh, very nice.
Yep, Korea can't remove that. They do lie 1, so they can split the house and lie 2.
Yeah, I like to force Japan to make the tough shot.
Definitely, always give the hardest shot to your opposition. You play the simple one. Super standing well back on this one.
Just wanted on the other side of the 8-foot.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, real nice.
Japan could freeze that now.
ここ誰か投げた人いるっけ？のりちゃんが投げた。
Yeah, if you freeze, they make a perfect freeze. They have to blast. Even if they get rid of it, then you can make a play on the other side. Well, they want to try and stick around.
Okay, nice.
It does for Shotstone.
9.8 9.8
컨트롤 스테이 3.
So important here for Korea. Either nose or just roll inside towards the centre line.
Yep, first objective, make the hit, and we see Kim Young-jung off on her game, below her tournament numbers, 73% on the game. At some point, Gwen is going to have to make a play.
But if she freezes this perfectly, and then Korea go to split it all out, she may get the opportunity to get that play on the side one.
バック4、バック4。13後半とか。フリーズして、相手が後ろごとやったら、フリーズね。
First,
13後半とか。
Skipstone.
ちょっとね、多少ずれてもいいよ。ぴったりついたら嬉しいけど、多分ぴったりくっつきすぎると諦めてステイしてくるから。まあそれ狙わせて失敗した時に3点が出てくるからいいけど。
Take a look in over on sheet A. Germany and the USA, 4-2 Germany leading, but those stones behind the T line, killer for Germany. She's got to make a nice shot now.
Yeah, two great yellow stones in there. I don't know if she can actually get the shot.
I don't think the US has built quite enough. It's such a small port they got to get to. Daniela Jentsch facing two, has been good with the hammer, but now trying to get anything to the inside here in this update, trying to bump it over. It is a steal of two, and just like that, all square.
Leute, das war ja so ein verkorkstes End. Hey, alles over Team. Ihr müsst mitstoppen, was die Gegner spielen. Es ist pro Stein ist es 10 schneller geworden. Ihr müsst die Korrekturen machen. Ihr müsst wirklich, ihr müsst mitstoppen, auch beim Gegner.
So in our game, as we were showing you that update over on Germany and USA now all tied up, Tori Kawana freeze over curled.
Her weight was absolutely perfect, but she just over curled.
Now Kim Young-jung can't touch those top ones. Gets away with it. Just touched that one.
If she had caught that yellow, could have been disaster.
아니야, 웨이트 2 나왔는데 너무 말린 거 같아.
It's a couple of her out-turn hits have been really curling tonight.
And even her tap back in the third end. Well, as Japan tries to go for their one, facing a couple, Italy's facing a bundle and needs to get a little hit, little flop in order to score one. Looks like is it 5 or 6 they're facing.
6, I think.
Nothing like a shot against 6. Already trailing by 5 in the game.
Needs to just get a slight inside roll on this to get the shot.
Well, they're trying to make the hit and to get the one. They're trying to get it to curl at the end. It ends up on the outside. It's a steal of 2 more, and it's 10-3 now. Canada gets the steal of 2 more. They went on the aggressive. Well, Japan able to get their 1 point. So now 6-4 as we are through 6 ends of play.
일단은 초초가 첫 번째 거 넣고 두 번째 거 보고 야드 가드 괜찮다 싶으면 칩하고 아니면 그냥
Well, a good look at the crowd here, North Bay Memorial Gardens. A lot of fans on the one side where Canada now has a convincing 7-point lead.